Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Welcome back to the show. It's all about Just Commit Coaching, right? Shouldn't it be? Yes, we are here with our next guest. And of course, she's the founder of Just Commit Coaching, and her name is Jennifer Chapman. Welcome back. How are you today?
I'm doing great, Jill. Thanks. It's good to be back with you.
Same to be here. And by the way, we're live on the podcast as well as on the Zoomcast for those of you that can't see. Beautiful woman, amazing heart, and she really has a passion for. We're going to get to that today. I'll start to have you introduce yourself. Tell me a little bit about what you do specifically.
Yeah, so I'm a certified life coach, life and mindset coach. So I focus a lot about what we can control. And so I help my clients who feel like they are just surviving right now, especially after the last couple of years, or if they've experienced a life-changing event and are just trying to figure out how to kind of get over that hump. And I help them go from surviving to thriving. And I believe that we all have an inner warrior in us. And so I help them tap into that for themselves.
Perfect. And there's a lot that you offer, the one-on-one coaching, you offer the workshops. Could you share a little bit details about the type of work you do specifically?
Yeah, so I work with clients one-to-one, either in 3-month or 6-month packages. And me and another coach here in the Indianapolis area, we're hosting a free workshop. Actually, it's tonight. And then from there, whoever's interested and felt like that spoke to them after a free workshop, we invite them in and we do small group coaching as well, where a lot of people feel a little bit more maybe safe in that space, right? And have the community of other like-minded individuals that are, nobody's doing it alone. So.
Perfect. And if you go to the website, justcommitcoaching.com, you can get the free guide there, find out more about her. And, there's a lot of us that do feel stuck, that feel we can't change. And there's so many things that we want. Give me some examples of some of the things that you're helping people coach through and to get through. And especially around the holidays, I'm sure there's a lot of people that could use some extra help for sure.
Yeah, it's, life. People are seeing struggle with kind of life is happening and we can't control that piece of it, but how can we control how we respond to it? And a lot of people, we're all conditioned and trained by the time we're 7, 8, 9 years old, whether people are aware of that or not, on how we dealt with things in the past. And I help clients kind of up level that. How can we change those patterns and behaviors and you be able to respond in a different ways versus how you responded to something in the past, maybe how you saw your parents respond to things or the relationship that was there. That's kind of what I see a lot of, Jill, is unhealed trauma and life experience. So if we haven't dealt with that in the past, anything in your past, it's going to continue to show up in your future, whether you're aware of it or not. So I help kind of bring awareness to that. And, then it comes acceptance and self-love and self-compassion. I help clients provide some tools and resources to help them tap into that.
Beautiful. And for today, did you have an area of focus for us? It's something that you wanted to dive into specifically for our show today for our listeners?
I think this time of year, it's always good. So what the workshop that we're doing tonight here in Indy, it's all about how can we help create a vision for you for 2023? What's worked for you in 2022? Let's acknowledge that. And then maybe what didn't work for you and how can we help support you in creating a vision that you want for yourself? And a lot of that has to do with establishing what your core values are. And a lot of people maybe don't know what their core values are, are they living in them or not living in them?
Yeah. What are core values? Give me some examples. And some people might say, yeah, what are my core values? How do I figure out what that is? Could you help us dive into getting to know our own selves? What do you look for to figure out your values? Are those things that you believe, you cherish, you focus on? How would you describe it? I'm trying to get a definition. I was in church last night with my boys and they talked about values and it's so funny. So what is your definition of values?
They're your North Star. I mean, they are your compass. They are what help make your decisions, and every choice and decision you make should come from, does this align with my values? And there's a couple different definitions of them.
Okay.
One are your non-negotiables, your foundational values. These could be 1 or 2 words such as, love or honesty, integrity, trust, things that you've lived out of and your entire life, right? And then there's your aspirational ones that you want to tap more into and develop for yourself. And they can be evolving because you're always evolving, right?
True.
Like there could be life-changing experiences in your life that kind of
That.
shift your perspective
Mm-hmm.
on how you now want to live out of. And then there's actually your non-values. So there's those words out there that maybe
Interesting.
don't land for you at all, where you don't want to spend any of your time, energy, or resource on. Doesn't mean you don't
Yeah.
resonate with them in some
Mm-hmm.
way, but they're not ones that you, again, don't want to spend any time or energy on.
Got it. All right. That
If
makes
that helps.
sense. So once we establish our values, but then it's like, are we really holding true to our compass, our North Star in a sense, right? Because some people feel like they can't get to that next level. How do you guide someone like this? I'm sorry. I'm, I want to ask questions too. I really want to know too, because there's things in my life that I'm not happy with that I want to change. I think all of us do, which kind of, make us all come here together today. There's something in all of our lives. I'm sorry. If you're perfectly happy, God bless. I don't know anyone though, but
Yeah,
there's
right.
always something I think, and that's what keeps us living, keeps us going. And it's okay to want to better ourselves, to change something. You're not alone. And yeah, there's things I'm frustrated over. I want to change too in my life with my time management, but I can't. I mean, I can. I just haven't,
Hey,
studied. I can't say can't. I'm sorry, I'm a naysayer. But yeah, you're running into people like me, right? I can't, I can't. But they want. Okay, go ahead.
yes,
Sorry. I'm just digressing.
you're good. You're good. So
Mhm.
what was the question? How can I best answer the question that you're
Well,
asking?
I mean, my personal question's about time management, but then we don't, yeah. How do I get to that? But there's so many things that, we do want to change. And the fact that we're not alone, and it's okay to want to better yourself, but it's also accountability, it's commitment. It takes certain things as a coach. What does someone have to put into this?
I think
So,
it I think it goes back to like your why.
mm-hmm,
Why are you saying yes to something? Is it to
that,
satisfy someone else's response or
mm-hmm,
need? And I think that's what I've seen a lot of, right? Or especially women, but I would say men and women. It's like, why are you saying yes to things? Why are you saying no to things? Is it to satisfy someone else or
or is
validate?
it
Or is it holding true to not only
that,
my values, but like your boundaries? What's important to you?
mm-hmm,
Are you protecting your own energy or where's your energy going? And acknowledging like it's okay. And I'm going to give myself permission to say no to something because it's not going to fulfill, it doesn't align with my core values anymore.
yeah, yeah. It's time. And I just feel like this time around the holidays is a great time to really start thinking about these things. Is this like a busy season for you? Like, is this where people really start thinking about, and then you got New Year's resolutions, you got all that?
Yeah. And we New Year's resolutions are a whole nother thing, I think.
Oh.
But yeah, and we can talk about that because it's not just that's like, it's like going to the gym, right? That's always a
Hmm.
huge New Year's resolution. But what happens when you walk into the gym in February? Like half the people are gone. What happens there? And so from a coaching standpoint, it's a huge accountability piece, is a
True.
huge piece that I play in some, a partnership with someone is holding them accountable, not to just a New Year's resolution, but like sustainable, upgraded ways of wanting to change your way of being, your
Yeah.
lifestyle, your choices, your decisions. Um, and it all starts with not only creating a vision for yourself, or what I like to call even a mission statement for yourself that you can view and see every single day, but then start to make those choices and decisions based on wanting to obtain that vision. Where do you want to be? How do you want to feel in 6 to 12 months? Who do you want to
Mm.
be with? I mean, getting really specific, the more specific, the better. And then you'll start to live into getting closer and closer to where you want to be by making different decisions based on really feeling aligned in your values in every aspect of your life, right? When it comes to family, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to self, most
Yeah.
importantly, when it comes to finances, when it comes to your professional space,
Space.
you want to be aligned in every aspect of your life. And it all starts with your values.
Beautiful. And I see that there's spark in your eye. What were you thinking? I mean, as a coach, is there still things that you want to change and mold in your life? And could you just share a little bit
Mm,
about your background, what brought you here to be a coach, which can help people empathize, like, hey, it's possible. Like we've all been through things, right?
that's right. Yeah, thanks for happy to share. My background is corporate sales, so I've spent
Mm-hmm.
17 years in sales in a variety of roles and companies and loved it, honestly. And then, 2017, my life and body had different plans for me. And I suffered a life-changing stroke at the age of 34. And, after a few months of physical rehab and therapy and recovery, and then I went back to corporate sales thinking I wanted to go back to normal. Um, I was mentally and emotionally in a completely different place and had to find stability there and wanted to find stability there. And so it was knowing I didn't want to be and feel like that anymore. So I reached out to a life coach, which I had never worked with a life coach
Mm-hmm.
before. I had tried traditional therapy, which got me to a certain point, but the value I received from my life coach was not only did she meet me where I was, but
Mm-hmm.
how can I move you forward? And that just landed so much for me. And it was really helping me tap into the purpose in all of this, understanding that this happened for a reason. And then what was I going to do with it? Well, how can I pay it now forward to others that are where I was and
Was,
want to
yeah.
get to where I am, get to, and I got to tell you, Jill, you can't, I used to always say like I had to overcome my mental and emotional struggles, but I couldn't overcome them without going through them. That's the
Got
only
it.
way.
Got it. And it makes us stronger for sure.
It does.
And could you share some of the things you're working on with clients that can maybe resonate with some of us here at home or in our cars listening today?
Yeah, I think what I've seen the most, honestly, especially over, I think so well, have people come to some sort of clarity over the last 2.5 years? I think they have, but that's step one. It's like, okay, I'm no longer fulfilled doing what I've been doing the last 10, 15, 20 years. Like on the
Mm-hmm.
outside, everything looks really good. I've got a good paying job, I've got a spouse, I've got kids, like life looks good. But so many women come to me and say, something's missing. I'm not fulfilled, but I don't know what direction I want to go. I don't know what the first step is to take, but they at least are open. The key is to be open and
Mm-hmm.
curious and explore what it could be.
Yeah. Wow. And today, I think it's in particular the holidays, though, also could be hard for people who, there's so much dynamic around the holiday, right?
Mm-hmm.
And about, being with family or some that don't have family, loss of grieving. And as a coach, do you also help with those types of things, loneliness issues, depression? And people say, well, what's the difference with a mental health counselor compared to a coach? What's the difference? But you I mean, it's similar, but can you share how you differ from a mental health coach, but you can still help with certain things that they do?
Yeah, I think the biggest difference from like a mental health counselor or therapist is that any trauma that you've, faced, there's big T and little T trauma. Big
Okay.
T is the big, it's maybe an abusive relationship, grief,
Mm-hmm.
those are huge things, or a severe accident or huge illness that's occurred. Those are big, but I've survived. I've gone through big T trauma, but it's not, recent. It's not I've worked through it, so I wouldn't consider, if that, if something
That's
major had happened to me in the last 6 months or 12 months and I haven't dealt with it, therapy is probably
mm-hmm.
your first step. Um, but then there's little T trauma, which I feel like I can help support my clients through, whether it's, a job change or a relationship change or, some of the smaller type events. But maybe you still have to find somebody. Everybody needs somebody. And I think that's so important for people to know, especially when they feel alone. It may not be your spouse that you're going to go talk to about it or a family member that you're going to go talk to about it, but everybody needs somebody to help support you and kind of letting you process those thoughts and feelings and emotions that come up, because they have to come up and out. They cannot stay locked in your body, because that's where you're going to continue to do damage, honestly, is
Yeah,
if you don't talk about it, if you keep it bottled up and think that's the best thing to do.
perfect. And would you mind just reminding our listeners how we can reach out to you?
Yeah, I would love to hear from you. My email is jennifer@justcommitcoaching.com. Obviously, my website is justcommitcoaching.com. You can schedule a complimentary coaching session on there. Would love to hear from you. Just if you're looking to explore what something like a coaching partnership could look like. I'm also on LinkedIn every day, Jennifer Chapman.
Perfect. Thank you so much. All right. We are live here with Jennifer Chapman still, and we're talking obviously in regards to how Just Commit coaching can help you. Maybe it's personal wellness, maybe you have a job that you want, or career change in a sense. And you mentioned on the website, like the mental and emotional struggles in life can really make your future challenging. But with you, you say you partner with a 3-month journey. Is that normally what it takes? I mean, how do you describe it? I mean, it's probably different for everyone, but to kind of get that habit going and that new behavior pattern, is that what you usually recommend?
Yeah, like you said, it depends. I know my website says 3 months. I've over the last 3 months or so myself have launched. I don't know if launched, but I've created a 6-month program as well, and that's it's like it's different for everybody. We definitely do a deeper dive when it comes to 6 months, and depending on where you're at and how you feel and what you're going through, it will take at least that long. But it's there. There's a framework, Jill, that I
Yep.
like to share, because it's the framework is, there's an awareness stage that we work through, because you may not be aware potentially of it's those blocks that you're kind of running up against, or those limiting beliefs, or those barriers that are holding you back from your point A to point B. And then phase 2 of that is the acceptance work. So I help people with self-love, self-acceptance, self-compassion, self-forgiveness, powerful tools to help you kind of release those blocks. Right. And then aligned action. So it's then those upgraded behaviors that we create, or aligned action that you're going to continue to take day after day to help you kind of create, pivot and create a new path for yourself.
I love it. It gives me hope. I think it feels so good to talk about positive things and to be our best self. And that's the one thing I say, the big takeaway from COVID, as hard as it was, we were not alone. We all suffered unfortunately, loss of life, loss of job, loss of change, but there's good to come out of it. And the biggest thing was we were all in this together, to know that everyone could be affected. And now we're through it in a sense. And wow, we've come so far. And now it makes me realize life is so precious each and every day with my kids. And like, why not live our best life? You never know when the next pandemic's coming. You never know when there's a tragedy in the live your best life and be the best you can be. I don't want to die with regrets, right?
That's
we
right.
all have regrets. Why not do it now? Just commit coaching. It's true. It's just like, mindset is a huge thing. Is there any advice for us to how do we get in a better mindset? I mean, what do you teach your clients? What are the things that we could start doing at home on a daily basis to get that positive mindset?
Because mindset is truly everything. It is. It's the one thing that you can control. But so many people allow other things to control them, or especially the biggest of all is our own mind.
Yeah.
Our own thoughts can control us. And so I ask my clients, like, who's driving your car today? Is your spouse driving your car today? Are your kids? Is your boss? Who's driving your car figuratively?
Yeah.
Or is it your self-doubt driving your car today? Or is it your fear of failure? Or is it the perfectionism in you driving your car today? And how do they can still be in the car, but how can we put those limiting beliefs in the back seat? They can show up, but don't let them drive your day. So I help support them. I mean, they all sound so simple tools, but it's not easy to do, because you have to do it every single day, right? When that alarm goes off, what do you say to yourself when you're getting out of bed? Or do you hit the snooze? And how many times do you hit the snooze? And why do you hit the snooze? And even when you do, is it good quality sleep that you're getting when you hit the snooze?
No.
It's
postponing the inevitable.
It is.
Today I didn't. I usually hit that snooze button a few times. I do. Guilty.
No, and you didn't today?
I didn't. I didn't. I got up
I would
earlier.
Celebrate that. And that's one of the things that I share with my clients is celebrate the small wins every single day, and celebrate something for who you are every day, not what you do, not the roles that you play, but just celebrate, because that starts to change the wiring in your brain, and you'll start to find things every single day that you want to celebrate, or that you did get done right on your to-do list. We are human beings that find every little thing that we didn't get done, or that we didn't do, or that we got wrong. I
Mhm.
don't care if your to-do list is 10, you have 10 things on there and you only got one done. Celebrate the one thing that you got done because that's okay. Let's not beat ourselves up for the
Me too.
or the one, let's say we got 9 out of 10 things done.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna weigh ourselves down with that one thing that we didn't get done. For what? How does
Yeah.
that serve you? So celebrate the small wins. Gratitude is huge. That's another huge topic I would say over the last couple of months what are you grateful for
What?
write something down every morning, and then maybe you're grateful for something that happened
Yeah.
during the day. And
Okay.
those are the small things are the big things. They become the big things.
Okay. All right. What else did you have in mind for us? You're on a roll. What else do you want to share? Justcommitcoaching.com. Just a reminder here. We're working with you. And don't forget the free workshop tonight. We can get more details on that on the website.
Yes, you can. Everything's on there.
Mhm.
If you just have a question, you can always reach out to me on my website. I will respond to you within 24 hours as best as I can. And then to schedule just a complimentary coaching session is all it is. And I help support during that call. I want to hear what's a goal, what's something you're trying to achieve in the next 6 to 12 months. Where are you now in relation to that goal? And what would get in your way? And how can I support you getting out of your own way to reach that goal? And maybe it is that, our coach always told us whatever block is in your way, it's not in your way, it is the way, which is powerful.
Mhm.
It's hard. It's a big concept to understand, but once you understand like how it was just how those blocks are trying to serve us, which ultimately, Jill, it's the ego part of us keeping us safe. It's just trying to protect us. It doesn't want us to get hurt. It doesn't want us to do too much. It just wants to keep us safe and comfortable,
Mhm.
right? But the magic doesn't happen when you're comfortable.
Yeah.
We got it. I help support my client. Let's get out of the comfort zone. That's where the magic is. The
Got it.
unknown.
Yeah, and then the holidays come too, and we feel like we do, and then we get to this like
Mm.
just feel empty, like depleted mode. And when we get like that, it's not good for anyone. I know we have to fill up our own cup first, right?
That's
And
what I
take
was gonna
care of
say.
ourselves, right? Is that
Yeah,
the terminology you use? Yeah.
yeah, I do. It's what I call your soul cup. What's your soul cup full of? Whatever it's full of is going to pour out onto everyone else around you, your friends, your family, your kids, your spouse, your work. So, how can you pour out
Um,
what's no longer serving you? And how can you pour in, what you want to be full of so that you can be there all in for everybody else? But it is not self-care is not selfish. It's essential. It is going to be, it's the key to your success in every single aspect of your life. You have to put yourself first so you can be there for everybody else that you're supposed to be there for.
yeah, it's true. You're right. And we forget about that. My goodness, at times. You have to put that oxygen mask on first. Heard it on the plane a few weeks ago. I took the boys
Yes,
away and I'm trying to like teach them, like showing them, okay, this is what happens. And they're like, well, I'm like, no, don't worry. I'm like, yeah, mom's gonna put it on first and then you, but it's true. You have
it's
to.
true. It's true.
Ah,
That's my
and
permission. I'm giving you permission today, and anybody else out there listening. This is your permission slip to put
mhm,
yourself first. What does that look like? And it doesn't have to, your whole life doesn't have to change, and you don't have to go from 0 to 100 to make all these different decisions. But what's one small action step you can take today or tomorrow
yeah,
to just boost your own energy level a little bit?
yeah. And not everybody has a great support system, has people around them, but I know a lot of life coaches that have become really good friends with their clients. Does that happen to you a lot? Are you like
It
friend?
does.
Yeah,
Yeah, you build a really great, strong, safe
rapport.
relationship,
Mm-hmm.
rapport. Yeah, it is it is my job as a coach, not only from that accountability piece and support piece, but just creating a safe space so my clients can be simply seen and heard and valued and understood, most importantly, without judgment. No, it's a no judgment zone.
Mm-hmm. Gotta feel good about that. Great. And anything else that you're working on that you want to share with us, upcoming for your clients, for your workshop?
No, my workshop is it is tonight. It's at 7 p.m. Eastern. So even reach out to me today on my website if you're still interested. We'll get you signed up because it's free. Other than that, no, I'm looking to explore opportunities to meet with small business owners, companies, HR professionals that are looking to help support their people, because it's so critical, right? I want to help support. I want it to be normalized to be able to talk about your mental and emotional well-being at work. I'm not here to coach people on their sales and leadership skills. There's people there for that. Yep. But I think if you do work on your own mental and emotional space, and it can be the best you want it to be, you are going to up-level yourself in your sales and leadership skills and where you are in a professional level. So looking to explore those opportunities for 2023 as well.
Beautiful. All right, Jennifer Chapman, tell us how we can reach you, please.
Yeah, Jennifer at justcommitcoaching.com. My website is justcommitcoaching.com, and I'm on LinkedIn and I'm on Facebook often. So reach out.
Great. And again, that workshop tonight. Check it out. Go on the website. You can sign up. It starts at 7 p.m.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes,
Eastern Standard Time, ladies and gentlemen. And in closing today, do you want to leave us with any insight, any quote, anything that can resonate with us for the rest of the day?
Just fill your soul cup first. Yeah. Put yourself first. It is not selfish. It's essential, and you will be a better version of yourself for it. And so will everyone else around you, your family, friends, spouse. They will thank you for putting yourself first.
Yeah. And Jennifer, are you on social media as well?
I am. LinkedIn a lot.
Okay.
And then Facebook under just Jennifer Chapman. Right. I am on Instagram. I'm not on there as often, believe it or not, because I got hacked earlier this year. So that it's kind of a rebuilding mode there.
Did they fix it for you? My girlfriend's still been hacked. They won't get back to her. It's I don't know what's happening, but it's so scary, these things that can happen. Did you at least get your account back? You had to start a new one.
I had to start a new one. So I'm rebuilding there, which is fine. Okay. Again, it's checking my own energy, and it's I gotta pick and choose where I'm at. But LinkedIn, it's been a really great platform for me because a lot of people are resonating with these types of conversations you and I are having.
Good. All right. JustCommitCoaching.com. Jennifer, thank you again for being here, sharing your story, and for helping others. And don't forget the free workshop tonight, JustCommitCoaching.com. You have a fantastic day. And it was great seeing you. All right. Enjoy your day and your week. I'll talk to you next week.
Sounds great. Bye-bye.
Right, bye. Bye.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.